Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Ignition Zones. We created a space where visionary leaders can come and get ignited. I'm your host, Jessica Myers, the visionary architect, and I am so excited for today's conversation because a lot of times, people see the work side, the business side, and some of you have seen the personal side. But somebody who's seen all sides for the last 20 years is none other than Mr. Joel Myers.
Oh man, thank you so much.
How
God,
you
so much.
feel?
Just living the dream one more day. Living the dream.
Welcome, 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 Mr. Joel Myers. Now, how should I introduce you? I didn't ask you that before, but what title, I guess, do you want to go by?
I'm just another version of you. But I'm multi genius like you are and most people who are watching this. So Jovial Joel the technologist.
The technologist, the sound therapist, the overall, what did you say? You've been my dude since day
Since
one.
day one. I've been your homie since day one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
How do you
so
feel?
I just feel like we're in a special place where creations are now becoming consumable, where
Mhm.
people are able to actually taste the fruit of our labor.
Mhm.
Even this conversation being one of them.
Yeah, because I mean, it's pretty interesting. So we start dating, and I'm in college, and I feel like, oh, okay, we're interning. You the frat boy. I was working, and I was like, oh man, I'm about to be the breadwinner, and he about to be playing video games all day. And you surprised me. I mean, I tell people all the time, like I got the prize, because then when I got married, I decided to become an entrepreneur. Like, can you speak to that? Because, like I said, I'm thinking like it's about to be cakewalk. I'm about to be the breadwinner. Oh my gosh! And then we get married, and I quit my job.
Well, it's more so about knowing that I have faith as your significant other through anything. So that's just one of those things. Anything being infinite, meaning anything can happen. I have to be there. I choose to be there. And so that was just like you chose to do it sooner than later in our marriage. So it was just like, okay, this is what I signed up for. Let me adjust. Some of the great ones said, be water, my friend. So be fluid. Fit into whatever container that's gonna work for us.
Yeah.
And that's how you get your crowns.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like I had a lot of guilt because, like I said, I feel like did I bamboozle you? Because we got married and then life changed. And then it's like it became a constant, like, okay, I'm gonna prove it to you that it works, prove it to you that it works. And then I hit a wall and I came crashing. And your patience in that moment, like how do you describe that?
See, me, somebody who's striving to be the best self in this lifetime, patience is one of those intangible forces that I ask to behold. But you don't get patience through patient times. You get patience through times that are seemingly going to make you impatient.
Yeah.
And you are tested right there. So I love challenge. And I feel like life knows that about me and makes sure to use the people around me to make sure I get those lessons that gets me patient. So you could say that I'm patient.
Mm.
Like my mama said, let somebody else tell you. Well, let my wife tell me that I'm patient.
Mm.
I can't go around telling people I'm patient because then it wouldn't count. You wouldn't believe me. But if you tell me I'm patient, I must have shown you in action, indeed.
Yeah. And that's one thing I will say. You have been somebody committed. And speaking of committed to the process, last year we were challenged. For one, around this time, we found out we were pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And that forced us that no matter what we had going on, we had to turn everything internal to bring that to pass. And you saw after months and months and months of a process, we produced a beautiful thing. I asked you to help take that chance in August or September about a venture, and now we're working on a project together. How do you feel now being on that crazy ride and what we're about to do from seeing it and experiencing it all through the years of what I've done in entrepreneurship to now living it?
It's like mission control. This is ignition zone. So I'm one of your clients essentially when it comes to sparking creatives, sparking leaders to actually fly higher, to get out of the atmosphere, not just fly within the planet. Let's take this thing to another galaxy. So in that decision, in that alignment, it was just us aligning on a product, not even a project. It's a product that others will be able to enjoy as well. So doing that with you, it's like I'm one of the astronauts and you are mission control actually counting down the sequence. So you have a vision of where that aircraft is going because I code and create the function. I'm actually driving the spaceship.
Hmm.
The actual asset I build with these hands and this mind.
Oh, can you speak to that, like kind of where you are? Because I did an episode explaining the deal maker formula and what that
Mhm.
means. Like, I'm big on opportunity, skill set, and know how, and the capital to execute comes. Because a lot of times when you start building, people think that they need the money to build, and I'm like, building the money comes.
People with the money don't know how to build.
Mhm.
And out of your formula, I'm the skill set and know how person. You're the opportunity person often. You can speak the opportunity that I, as a skill set and know how person, built. So maybe I built the opportunity, but then I passed it to you in
Mhm.
alignment because you're more fit for that service.
Okay.
I am and have been building iOS platform apps for the last 16 years. So I'm not going to ask you to do that in this formation.
Because I don't know, just
I'm
like I
gonna
don't
do
know how
it.
to paint. I did real estate and I was a developer and I don't know how to paint. Don't ask me to paint your room
That
because
was
your
your
floor and
big
your carpet
thing.
might get
I'm a
painted too.
developer, but I've never taken a hammer to a nail.
Yeah.
And that lets you know, so how are you a developer? Because of the opportunity that you gather and team build around, which is a business and an organization, and it's what capitalism is in the first place. But in these times of doing more with less people, we're doing it together.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one thing I appreciate because, and talking to friends sometimes, they'll be like, no fair, you have Joel. And I'm like, well, I mean, it was a sacrifice and discipline to get there, to get a Joel.
And preparation. We are fruits of similar trees, family wise. I'm blessed to say that my daddy was in the house. Even though he was working 2 jobs, he was home until he passed. So it was till death did them part. Your parents as well. It was till death did them part. And the people that raised them were in matrimony as well. So they were in covenant. So we saw and were raised by people in covenant. So we just knew it normal as to go into covenant. Find someone worthy of going into covenant. That's what we found.
And that interesting part when people start talking about success and they want to hear the numbers. Well, how much money did you make and how much this? And a lot of times, my wealth I feel is measured in relationship.
Yeah, and you've made money as well. I mean, you've made big deals. So, monthly checks versus as an entrepreneur, I learned that it's not about the steady monthly, it's about the quarterly. Can we bring in a big quarterly check?
Mhm.
And oftentimes in real estate, you're able to do that. But it's also about reinvesting. So every time you make one move, you're gonna roll that over into another move. And so that's where, you play the game until the game plays you.
Setting that cash flowing engine. That's really setting it up. Like you said, it's something that keeps and can feed and sustain itself. And that's one of the things I'm grateful for because it's interesting because I want to understand from you because I feel like I'm learning myself through you. And I feel like that's the power of relationship and reflection. Because oftentimes when I say the money will come, right? Because they're like, well, I can't get started until I have the money. And I'm like, well, the money will come when you get started. What has that experience been like? Because in August, when we declared $100 million exit, the things that are in place weren't in place to say that we were on the trajectory of 100 million. Even when I woke up and was like, let's get 26 million people to meditate. But now we're like, oh, I can see how that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
What has that transformation or transition been like? Just from somebody who's like I said, to me, it feels like Tuesday.
I mean, it's me seeing your magic in action. Like you have an ability to project, and we know that the tongue is the rudder of your life. It can send you towards more life bearing opportunities, or it can take you towards the death, things that are non living. But you spoke life, and I'm starting to see life blossom in that formation of being bold enough to speak it. I often say, if you can't speak it, you can't be it. So the first step, you spoke it for both of us, and I'm faithful enough to be like, yeah, I do see that. I'll take that on. I'll rise to the challenge.
Can you speak more about what it is I'm talking about the project? I know we talked about it, but you're a huge sponsor of the show, Pocket Sound Bath.
Yeah.
Can you speak more to what made you even create such a thing?
Well, I'm a creative technologist, so it's like I have right brain and left brain happening all at once. So I can think artistically, but I can put it in motion with my hands and program it. So I thought me being a sound therapist the last 6 years, carrying around these 17 different tools of instruments, spending over $3,000 probably total. I was like, how can I do this and actually spread this sound, which is therapeutic, to more locations? How do I get and multiply myself?
Mhm.
So I thought, how can I do that? Well, what if I recorded myself, and then what if I programmed that when somebody tapped or swirled, my recording would play, and then I had to merge them together, and I just started going to work. I just started going to work on how can I democratize this sound beyond myself, and I had all the capabilities of doing it. I was like, I often speak to you. Deliverables only come in so many forms. Is it a PDF? Is it an MP3? Is it an MP4? What are we? So I'm basically dealing with WAV files, which are MP3 like, and I'm creating code around that. So basically, I have the quality of my sound baths by recording myself into another experience that everybody else can be their own sound healer as well.
Yeah.
So I basically like made sure that if anybody has the thought of relaxation, mindfulness, taking a pause, or even being their own sound healer, they can try it out first on their phone using Pocket Sound Bath.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, because you were using it for years before you even put it in technology.
Good technology takes several years of testing. Like
Yeah.
literally, Gmail was in beta for 7 years. So how many people have a Gmail, and how many of them do you have? So with that in mind, I was like, well, repetition is the father of learning. The more repetitions I have using it, having a beta class of people use it themselves, and then getting that feedback, the better the ending result will be for
Yeah.
whoever when it hits the store.
Because I was like, you sneaky, because even when I was working in real estate, so now I'm in tech, but when I was working in real estate, you would just be playing in the background. And I think I didn't even realize what you were doing until like I found myself like I would be in a call. You feel like hurting cats in real estate. Like somebody who's supposed to be there they get there at 2, talking about they leaving at 3 for lunch, and then the end of the workday is at 4. And you're just like, I just paid you for a whole day. So I'm up here scratching my head trying to figure out how we gonna get this done, because I already scheduled 4 more trades tomorrow, and he just left today. And next thing I know, you're just playing like, and I'm looking like, because stuff, even though it was like high stakes, high decisions, is like you were always that piece. And I think after postpartum, it kind of gave me the space to give in. Like as much as I'm like, I'm gonna save it, because that's what as entrepreneurs you're like, I'm gonna give it all I got, I'm gonna give it all I got. Like so I'm riding this thing till the wheels fall off. I'm gonna run it in. I always think when the wheels fall off, who is running it into the ground? And you just run yourself in the ground, and you gotta take a moment and pause.
Mm-hmm.
And I often think about, I didn't play sports, but I often think about your position in football and what you do to the quarterback. And I was like, that's what the husband did for me.
Man, how you are anytime is how you are every time. Literally. How you've shown up every time in your life, that is who you are. That is your archetype. So she's speaking about me playing center. I play center, here in Georgia. We play big time high school
Oh
ball.
yeah, I said linebacker. Is that wrong?
No, you said what I do for the quarterback, which is I
Okay.
start the play.
Okay.
But I'm the quarterback.
I was like, I don't know sports.
I played the quarterback for the offensive line, which is your protection.
Mhm.
These are people who going to block for you. They're not going to run the ball. They're not going to score a touchdown, but they're going to put their body in between you and the person who's trying to hit you.
Mm.
And what does that say of that kind of person?
Yeah.
That they choose to do that, and they do it with pride.
Yeah.
They do it beyond somebody's recognition.
Yeah.
They just choosing to do that, and they do it to the best of their ability, so much so that you might want to call them a captain, because they're going to bring other people along with them on that level of output.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think how you are anytime is how you are every time. I speak all of that same being captain, leading the team, did that on the field, but I tend to do that in life.
Because that's what I was going to ask. I was like, what does leadership mean to you? Because I find that as a leader, remember in grade school, we used to fight to be the line leader.
Mm-hmm.
And the power in being the line leader is you got to make the decision of where everyone else behind you got to go.
Mm-hmm. And it's about knowing that, yes, we do desire power. I desire power, but it wasn't until marriage taught me, who are you when you're powerless? Who are you when you give up control? That's a strong man. I probably could lift most of the things in this building on a physical level. I could probably do all the type of calculated math that could be done with a mental power. But having the emotional power to protect your emotions at times when things didn't go right, all of that is a choice. And oftentimes the reverence of our marriage in choice is that oftentimes, hey, I'm cool with you making a visionary decision because you are a visionary. You're a projecting energy, and I'm more of a generating energy.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to be listening to see how I feel about what you essentially want me to generate. But who are you when you don't have control? As a man, I think that's a good challenge
Yeah.
for you to see that and be that
Yeah.
and make yourself proud in who you are in that moment.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's certain things that even now that you teach me and show me about discipline that I wish I did more of growing up. But I feel like that's what makes me so excited for our daughter
Mhm.
is that she gets to have this conditioning from you from day one.
Discipline is the instant willingness and obedience to orders, but you have to order yourself. That's what this is all about. Can you order yourself from within using the voice that can't nobody else hear but you?
So you speak of within. Is that what you find in sound as the originator or owner of
Sound
Pocket
is the
Sound Bath?
bridge towards your inside world. Sound can lull you into your original form, which is non-physical. You are a non-physical self before you got a meat suit body that your mama made for you.
So what's the correlation between sound, entrepreneurship, business? Because I'm not gonna lie, I find a lot of entrepreneurs that's really in sound. And I'm
Mhm.
like, what's the correlation?
I believe that entrepreneurship is a manifestation of sovereignty, which is one of the highest ideals. I think if you aggregate and summate or put together all of the core values that you can think of, they would add up to sovereignty, which is being able to serve yourself, defend yourself, feed yourself, clothe yourself, employ yourself, house yourself, regulate yourself. Doing all this self-generating activity proves that you are that much closer to the image of your creator, your God, the one that is so supreme. You don't really need anything, but it created worlds within itself for you to experience what it can create.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe that sovereignty is a high vibration, and sound healing and the harmonics within it are a high vibration compared to, I love some Future too, but that's on the other side of the spectrum of sound in comparison to the sounds in Pocket Sound Bath. This is harmonic wordless music.
Mm.
So it's totally abstract. It totally allows for you to interpret the sound, and that sound interpretation taps into your psyche.
Mm.
It taps into that version of you that says, I love myself without opening up its mouth.
Can you take me through a sound bath?
Hey, make sure you follow us at Pocket Sound Bath online. So let's get back into the episode now.
Because the whole point is it's supposed to be quick, right? It's supposed to be
We've
quick.
made it quick.
So it's
Pocket
supposed to be
Sound Bath is that we made it
can
pocket
we
size.
take a minute and just take a pause and like guide me through what you envisioned when you created the app and the experience?
So I figured somebody was in between meetings in a corporate setting, and they might have needed to take a little walk.
Okay, so I'm going about my day. I'm having a stress meeting.
Oh, you had this meeting. It was a quarterly meeting. It went how you wanted to, but you needed to get ready for your next meeting. That's in another 10 minutes. I seen this where you walked out into the little pavilion, maybe in the park.
So I separate myself.
You separate yourself.
Change my environment.
We're not doing this, while we're all jigging it up in the bathroom stalls, having a good time. This is more so we're resetting
HR.
We're resetting our mental space using sound. And
I'm not gonna lie, that's one of the things that attracted me to him in our relationship, because we will be having like a serious conversation and he'll just bust out in something, and I was like, that's always somebody I can be on a journey with, because you'll just bust out in something and you'll look it up and it'll be true.
I love comedy. I love humor.
Oh yeah, you're a comedian now.
I am a comedian now, so
I forgot to add that to your title.
At any given moment, I can go into my bit. So,
Oh wow. Okay, so we were going into a sound bath.
So I seen this in somebody who's a professional, yet they're on the move, but they aspire to be a better form of themselves, which is what we say: vibrate higher. No matter what's going on in your life, vibrate higher.
Because I think that's what was happening in the moments where I would have those stressful conversations. You would change the environment to change the vibration.
And it's about awareness. I had to be aware enough to know that, okay, this is pretty dissonant in here. That's not dissonance is the opposite of harmony.
So friction.
It's a friction. It's feeling a little tense.
So when you have tense situations.
It's anytime there's a tense situation, I think people operate better outside of tense and anxiety. So let's go to the other side of that pole. if the polarity exists of anxiety on one side, let's go over here to harmony on the other side.
Oh, because I mean, nobody knows that better than when we fell out. Now, plenty of people done heard about Lake Lanier. And they done heard plenty of couples that died.
Yeah.
Plenty of people who died. But you didn't have to hear that story in 2020,
Well,
2012.
now you see a story of those who lived.
Or 2013 when we fell out and you looked me dead in my eye and was like, relax.
And because look, me, I swim enough, but it was beyond swimming right there. It was more so like expectation setting for right now that we're in this water.
We are in the water. Like, I can't see.
That's where the
water's murky. I just heard that is cities buried underneath. And I'm like, here we are. And this guy, I don't know how to swim. All I know is how to doggy paddle. And this guy is just like, oh, relax. And I'm like, well, he did kind of save me from a wave pool.
Yeah, so it's several instances where leadership comes in the moment. And you often said I'm clutch. I appreciate you acknowledging that because I strive to be clutch. Like, I see these compliments being provided back to me through your observation before you ever tell me it. Hence why I choose to live as I do. It's like seeing yourself as president of the United States when you're little and being Barack Obama, then actually living it.
Mm.
So you put a mental destination in mind. You acted on it throughout years, and you got the outcome in the external world.
One thing you helped me with, and we were going to something, and because I want to pull up the sound bath here, but one of the things that you helped me with as we were, because you do these in person too. One of the things that you helped me with is you was like, what problem are you facing right now? And I was like, why am I going into a sound bath facing a problem? But I was like, yo, the answers that open up. Like, I took a really big problem and a very simple solution opened up. And I was like, this is a big problem, like a big deal.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was so simple.
Because look, sound is the basis of light. You know, I often say, this is one thing that the science community and the church community agree on. A scientist mentions the creation started with a big bang, and then the church pastor is telling you in the beginning was the word, and God spoke the word into existence. Both are sounds. So if you cut this world by the right sound, you may get to the very beginning element, which is that non-physical self I keep talking about. Because this body that you see is light. The only reason you can see it is because it's light. But the other form of you that has that voice that can say Happy New Year's without nobody hearing it. Say that right now.
Like Rockstar.
Yeah, like Rockstar. Say it without nobody hearing it. That same energy is what is usually going through whatever you're going through. Well, and it manifests into the body after that. So we got to get down to that, that non-physical voice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I will say.
And then I heard they saying that everybody doesn't even have that. So it's like only the chosen. Only the chosen.
So you mean it might be some blanks that go in here to the sound bath? And
NPCs, non-playable characters. You know those players in the
video game that's just
in the
like
video game
noise.
And they're just over there and you can't interact with them or nothing. They just there.
Interesting. So, to help fill the world.
A lot of my journeys into esoteric knowledge, what even brought me to sound and frequency and why did it even matter, is because while we're in this body, this is the only time it matters.
Because then, especially when you're talking about, no pun intended, matters.
No pun intended.
But as a visionary leader, you're looking at a lot of the unseen, which is why sound is so paramount to this space of belief and faith.
And I often say is you can judge your life by the sounds you're hearing.
Yeah.
Externally and internally. What are the sounds you're hearing? And I can probably see where you are in the span of everything going how you want it to, or things not going how you don't want it to.
Are we set up? Do you want to? I think we are. Can you hear it? I am so excited. We get to try it live on the air. It's been years in the making, but it can seem so simple when you've already been doing the work. And that's one thing I can attest to for the last 20 years. You've been putting in the work to get us so simple of a solution that we have today. Yeah, it's definitely something to experience. I mean, I think, and what do you think about the trend of getting crazier and crazier of how you experience a sound bath?
Look, if you're in the sound healing world, we out here trying to figure. Folks went into the do the sound bath floating on the air mattress on water
while blindfolded,
and somebody's feeding you grapes. Like It's all kind of stuff going now.
I was saying they should do skydiving.
They got
while
the skydiving, skydive in Dubai.
They do?
With the Maharaja.
And you land on the Burj Khalifa.
I mean, but see, I think what we can get to is where the ego starts to peek out and be like, look what I can do with this sound. And it's going to like, yeah, once it starts like that, but once you start following them crumbs of an egotistical sound bath, you're going to get the outcomes of the ego.
So you're not going to have me like doing nothing like walking through fire.
I mean, I love to have mind conquer matter, but in the case of a sound bath, it's really about resting. It's about passive listening. You don't even have to think about it. You just have to be here now. Be present and allow yourself to observe the thoughts that pass by your mind. Hey, it's Joel Myers here, founder of Pocket Sound Bath. Get back into ignition zones right now.
So take me through instant pause. So I've had a crazy day.
Instant pause, you got to start with your intention. What do you want the rest of that day to be like? This is where you use your power.
So I just had some crazy news before we started. I am no telling what I'm going to walk into. And I know that person is angst for what they're going through. And a lot of times with people I reach, life is lifing. And that's the premise of what we wanted to create with sound. And ignition zones is a space where visionary leaders can come in while life is lifing, because life doesn't stop lifing just because you're a leader, just because you're at the front of the line. And I just wanted to take a moment just to kind of see what that experience is like.
So you take that intention and you observe yourself.
So what am I listening to right now?
You're listening to frequencies that are from my crystal singing bowls. So straight from the bowls into a microphone, into a experience. And what I often say is every vibe that you hear is a reflection of your own self. So when you hear harmony, that's parts of you harmonizing. When you hear dissonance, which can still happen here, that's when you have two sounds that are very close to each other. And it creates a purr like a cat would purr. And when you're in this space, your subconscious mind is going to bring you all type of visions. And this is something that's not for these second and third eye. It's for your first eye. When's the last time you took a pause? No matter who you are, everybody needs that moment to take a pause. I'm Joel Myers, founder of Pocket Sound Bath. And I love to take a pause, especially when I have my JBL speaker. Allows me to get all the frequencies from the lows to the highs. So make sure you take a pause as well with Pocket Sound Bath.
So you said change my environment.
Focus on being present in every single inhale and exhale. Removing anything that you would think about beyond that intention, breathing in and breathing out. See how well you can focus on those few things in this moment.
It's interesting because I remember one time somebody said that they heard silence and sound.
And that's one of the greatest feedbacks that I could receive, because I believe the Big Bang was started when God had a moment of silence to itself. And boom, silence can create universes and worlds. So when you tell me you reach silence and you are the image of God, that's telling me you're at a moment of creation.
Yeah.
You're at a moment of creating worlds of invention, opportunity, because you pushed out all of this three-dimensional stuff and you went back into the first dimension with yourself, which is that voice that can say rockstar without anybody hearing it.
So
right now.
So you have this amazing program called Sonic Visions, where we you work with students in STEAM, in science, technology, engineering. This incorporates arts and mathematics.
Yeah.
So you teach them about frequencies and the power of vibrations, then going into a sound bath, then envisioning what they put into a prompt that gets engineered. And here's where the art comes in, because it spits out a visual of what that prompt is. And then now they can actually sell it as merch. And they can put it on book bags, T-shirts, notebooks.
And that's the newest thing. I thought, oh, you can sell this. But it was more so this process can help you pull what's inside of you out
into something that's generated. You
can see it in the real world. So it's a tangible way of using the harmonic frequencies to tune your body up to a harmonic state. And then you're seeing harmonious visions. So if I play some rock music, you'll probably see some visions that sound
More
like
fast.
Wild Night of MJQ type stuff.
Oh goodness.
But
It's Wild
when you
Night.
play harmonious music, you're more so going to be seeing harmonious visions. And I think that's what gets us closest to harmonious times.
Yeah.
The internal world projects out to create this external world. Everything that we do starts with a thought. What these sound baths do is help change the level of your thoughts. It's like tuning your radio frequency to the higher frequency. And so, yeah.
And the reason I feel like this work is so important because as an entrepreneur, I'm always looking to solve problems, and you deal with a lot of problems and you're like, okay, I got overtaken by the problem. And this has put me in a soft life era because I'm like, instead of trying to go chase and go out, it's allowed me to attract and come within. And in the sense where I thought it came from, okay, let me get the baby down, let me get back to work. But in this life of infusing sound and slowing down, I'm actually attracting more. Like you mentioned, I was able to do a lot of historic things in real estate with 2 commas. But now we in here talking about 3 commas. We talking about more commas in tech from slowing down than other areas where I thought it was about speeding up.
No, and I think that's the dichotomy that we're all in, thinking that you speed up to it, but you're supposed to walk down the hill. You're supposed to use that magnetic energy to track things to you versus you could burn out trying to reach out everywhere. So that feminine force is more magnetic. That's that right brain energy. And that's where all music is right brain energy. All art is right brain energy. See, when we start talking about, reaching out to everybody, that's mathematical and it goes to infinity, essentially.
There's always going to be somebody to reach out to.
Mathematics is left brain. That's masculine. Hey, and every star one day burns out. But either you're going to be a supernova, which is where you could burn out, or you can become a black hole. And a black hole is something where
that absorbs everything.
You are a force that continues to absorb light even beyond your passing. These are our the giants that we stand on their shoulders who come before us. The Malcolm X's, the Marcus Garveys, the Martin Luther Kings. Those are the ones who became black holes even after their passing.
Yeah.
That their paradigm of living, their zeitgeist, still grabs you to this day and makes you check yourself to see, am I really steering my course towards the most impact?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you feel like you're doing that through Pocket Sound?
Yeah, and I feel like we're just getting started. Like, inshallah, we do this another 80 more years and hit them 120s.
Well, we often talk about the eternal now. What are you working on in the now to propel you forward? We're Black History Month.
I'm always working on myself. What I know, what I'm acting on, so if I have knowledge, it's not just about knowledge is power. It's the application of knowledge. So how am I applying all of this knowledge? Well, right now I put it all into Pocket Sound Bath and my family building. So those things are the most important to me, my family, and the creations that come out of my inventiveness, my ingenuity. And what else am I working on? Working on tinkering with some AI things to build faster. So
yeah, because you're a technologist. So even before it was AI, it was apps. Even before it was apps, it was website. You were the guy who burned the CDs.
Yeah. I was on Napster.
You fixed everybody's computer on the street.
I was Geek Squad in my neighborhood back in the 90s.
So who you are anywhere is truly who you are everywhere.
Who you are anywhere is who you are everywhere.
So will AI take over?
With us. Like, we'll take over with AI to be like a duo. Because I always tell AI that it always is here to serve and lift up the original people on this planet. So
one thing I do think is funny because AI does get to know you very intimately, like to the point you can ask it anything. But we do share accounts. So I do think it's funny sometimes.
That's why my caricature doesn't come up right. Everybody got the cool caricatures in mine come up looking like Brad over in housing or something like that.
And my caricature is all crazy. I'm like this. I mean, it's somewhat of me, but it's like we're two become one. It's like,
yeah.
Isn't that why you like Crystal Burgers?
Because there's speaking of that, there's a part of the crystal burger where the meat and the bread become one.
Exactly.
It becomes a new matter.
And you can't even tell which is which.
Like, I don't even know if it's on the periodic table what that is
Exactly.
that it becomes. But
so that's
it's
what
good. It's tasty.
That's what I feel like we created. And I think AI and actually the fact that AI does have us wrong is actually even more proof. Well, not wrong, but it more so shows the fusion. Because even as you were talking, and I grew up so much on faith, just believing in the unseen. And not even knowing that when we were dating, this would be such a pivotal part of our relationship. I feel like it's such reciprocity. Like I come in a business sense and see things that way in a way that, like you said, you may not have grown up knowing or doing or whatever, but then you bring this essence and effervescence and resilience in a way that empowers and feeds, what I have going on. So it's like this so I do see how it's like the Crystal's burger where two substances have come together and made one.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Something
the yin
new
to the yang.
Yeah, and we have to embody that. Like every couple who's in covenant, who's checking on each other and making sure each other's livelihood and lifestyle is better, long as they're around. I think that's what helps married couples live longer.
Yeah.
That we are looking to to live out reciprocity, not just talk about it.
Oh yeah, because you're from a blue zone.
A non-documented blue zone.
Yeah. And blue zones are where you find a lot of centenarians or a lot of people who live over 100. Because even last year at Thanksgiving, well, not this past year, but the year before that, Thanksgiving, which is around the time we probably conceived. But last time around Thanksgiving, it was a 100-plus-year-old woman looking at, baby, it's your turn coming up next.
And that lady's 102 now. She's still alive. And yeah, you want to live long, do what the people who live long do. Mm-hmm. They fellowship, they stay active, they communicate in person, they enjoy nature, and they eat from the land as much as they can. But I think they just take it easy. And I think if you've lived to be 100, you've seen your hard times. Yeah. But you continued on. They paled in comparison to the impact you're still going to make. Yeah. And that was a choice you made. A lot of this is beyond luck. It's internal choices. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one thing I am grateful for. I will say somebody who I connected with and been in my network, and she met you, and from meeting you, she said, "Oh, I get it." I was like, "Oh." Like that was the biggest compliment.
And see, it takes one to know one, so I'm just a reflection of her as well. Everybody you see is a reflection of you. Yeah. Everybody who you meet is you in another form. Yeah. If you talk to that person, you'll start to figure out why you're seeing them. It's 8 billion people on the planet. You're not going to run into all of them. You run into who you're supposed to. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate who you are and who you're committed to be. And what can people reach you and find out what you have coming up next? Pocket Sound Bath, obviously.
Pocket Sound Bath is that product that's available and has no respect to persons. These harmonics are beyond anything you believe, where you're from, your ethnicity. These are the frequencies of your internal space if you are human. So if you're human, and we even see dogs, they like these vibes and stuff, cats and stuff, but
I was like cats.
Humans respond hyperdimensionally to these sounds. Mm-hmm. It's like when somebody puts you on a new genre of music. You didn't know about it until somebody put you on it. Yeah. But how is it when somebody puts you on a new genre or put you on a new artist? Yeah. That's what Pocket Sound Bath is, that return of a new sound. Meaning it's already been here before, but it's new to you.
I love it. I love it.
And so you can catch me on pocketsoundbath.com. I'm online on all platforms at Jovial Joel. I'm Jupiter, so I'm Jovial. Jovial Joel Sounds is my sound healing account. And if you have any in-person sound bath needs, I'm at Healing Heart Sounds as well. So we've been proving the concept of sacred sound for about 6 years now. It's just like it was time to take the road global.
Yeah. Well, they truly say Atlanta influences everything. We have a huge moment, the pause, which is about taking the global stage and everybody looking at Atlanta. And in the midst of everything at Piedmont Park, we just asking everybody to pull out their phones on Pocket Sound Bath and take a pause. Mm-hmm. And I am so, so, so excited about that moment. So you guys will hear more about that as we start to get everything together.
Yes.
But be sure to download the app, available in all app stores,
That's right.
Pocket Sound Bath. And I am so proud of you for bringing this to life. You've been ignited. So I definitely wanted to, showcase the power of ignition zones and what we do to ignite visionary leaders to take something from a shelf idea or something you've been thinking about to actuality, and it's done.
And ignition zones definitely makes you play the game on the highest level. You have to play up. This thing might have still been in beta if Jessica didn't join and become our fearless leader. But when Jessica joins something, it's going to the highest level. It's going to speak and be with the highest tastemakers of the time. She's going to attract them, and she's going to create the perfect storm. So that's what we're in, y'all. We're in the perfect storm right now with Pocket Sound Bath.
Oh, yes. I love it. It's time to get it.
Here at Ignition Zones.
What they say, start your engines. But I am so excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's an honor to do life with you and now to be bringing this project to life as we continue to bring other ideas and ventures to life. As you can see, the power and the purpose that he speaks with. There's no script. I kind of threw him in here. And I know we were able to do that because he's only living what he authentically does.
Yeah, and I acted like I had some sense. So
I know, we didn't have to call HR.
it's about acting like you got sense. So husbands beware. You know
Yes. So thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe. Tune in for all episodes of Ignition Zones podcast. As always, you got it. Let's get it. Let's go.